Okay, so I feel we should just get started. We might have one or two pop in just a minute, but I'll just give you guys a little spiel at the top and I'll switch it over to Neve. Neve is our representative at Kira, so she helps me do all the technical stuff like building assessments and making user accounts and things like that. But if you haven't heard of Kira before, you may have seen it in emails and things like that that we send out to grad coordinators. But it is a way for you to holistically review your applicants to your programs by asking them to submit a pre-recorded interview. And so those interviews that they have to submit are based on a variety of competencies that might be important to your program, like grit and persistence or cultural sensitivity or professionalism. And they're asked these questions randomly, so then they have to record their response on the fly. So you as a department user can choose how many questions you want to ask, how long you want to give them to respond, and things like that. And you'll learn more as we actually demo it for you. But it's a way for you to get a sense of how a student responds on the fly, and help you with your recruitment and admissions process to holistically review applicants. So I'm going to turn it over to Neve, and she's going to demo this for you. And then we'll have questions, and it's casual. There's not that many people in here. And afterwards, I'm going to send out a survey and an email if you want to sign up, which has all the selections you can make, and it's super simple and easy. All right.
Good to go. Perfect. Well, as Liz said, my name is Neve, and I'm the Client Success Manager at Kira for your school. So if you do decide to join up or anything, you'll be working with myself and Liz all the time, or like we'll only ever be an email away or a question away. This can be, because it's such a small group, we can have this quite interactive. So if you have any questions at any point, just stop me, and then I can go back to certain things or just show you different things as well. For this, I'm actually going to turn off my camera because there's a part where I'm going to go through the applicant experience that you'll see the camera as well. So just to not double up on myself there. So I'll turn that off now. But as I said, just shout out any questions, because I'm going to minimize my video screen as well, so I won't see if you're like waving or anything. But as we go along. So if you do join up with Kira, this is where you're going to log in. So you'll just type in kiratalent.com, you just come straight on our website and click login. Once you click login, you'll be asked to put in your email and password, which if you join, we'll invite you to join as well. But this is the landing page you're going to get here. So I'm logged in as one of your colleagues, Christine, just because Christine has staff access and she has access to this training assessment that we need to see. But as soon as you put in your email and password, this is the kind of page you're going to see. You're going to see open assessments, closed assessments, and a section called practice assessments. So for this, you're not going to see, when you join, you probably won't see all of these assessments because it's just what you have access to. That'll be controlled between anyone who's an administrator, which is going to be Liz. So if you manage, for example, an engineering program, you're not going to have access to a nursing program. So you don't need to worry about having to have loads of different programs under the one that don't concern you, or like flicking in and out through them as well. But you'll always see the three sections: open, close, and practice. So open is all your assessments that are completely live. They're the ones that your applicants can complete currently. And they're the ones that they can, like when you invite them to complete, will be there all along. And then your closed assessments is the assessments that when you have a deadline for your applicants to complete the interviews, you're going to come in and close your assessment so that anyone after that date can't complete it if you don't want them to. You don't have to do this. We obviously recommend it, because if you're going to give them a deadline and you've given 100 students the same deadline, in fairness, out of fairness, you're going to want them all to complete it within that and not give someone extra time. But you're going to, once you close them, they'll still live in Kira. You'll still be able to see all their videos, review them. The only thing it stops them doing is it stops the applicants completing it. So they're the kind of two different settings you'll see. The final one you'll see is practice, but nothing really lives here unless you record your own practice questions. And that's something we never really delete, because you'll see when we go through the applicant experience, the applicants get a chance to practice on the platform, not really questions related to your program, but more so just generic questions so they get familiar with the platform. So before I jump in to show you some of the settings and show you what you'll see as a reviewer, I'm just going to show you what you're going to see as settings. So once you're signed up, your initials will appear in this little corner and you'll see a little drop down arrow. And this is your settings here when you click on this. So you'll see three types of settings. So you'll see one which is general, which means you can change your name pretty much, or if you want to upload a picture. For example, if a lot of you had the same initials, you might want to upload a picture because it's easier, or if your reviewers have the same initials, get them to upload a picture so you can see who you're assigning applicants to. If you're ever making any changes, just click the green save button and it will say information saved. If you just type something there and don't click save, it won't save anything. So it's important that you do click that button as well. The next you have here is if you want to come in and change your password, all you need to do is put in your, same as any kind of application, just put in your old password and your 2 new ones. And the final note, the part we have in your settings is notifications. So this is kind of important because it depends on what kind of email notifications you're going to get. So there's 2 types of email notifications you can get from Kira as a staff member. You can get a notification every time an applicant completes their assessment, which is this one here, which is called new responses. By default, this is on, so you can have this off. For example, if you have 500 applicants and you don't want to get an email when every single one of those complete their Kira assessment, you can come in here and turn this off and click save. By default, it will be on in all of your accounts when they're set up, so just know that that's there. But the other type of email you can get is you can get an email when new members join the organization, join the Kira account. So if you don't want to get an email when 10 of your colleagues sign up, or if you're inviting 10 reviewers and you don't want to get an email when they sign up, this is already default off to say no. But if you want to get this email, you just tap this here to bring it over and click save as well. So they're the 2 types of emails that you would ever get from Kira, other than if you like email me or anything like that. Any questions on the settings side?
Yes, I have a question. Just like this one, I have to go from the Salesforce, or should I go to create the account? How I create the account?
So you will, if you decide to sign up, you will be filling out that survey that Liz mentioned. And once you fill it out and decide all of like the questions you want and everything like that, either myself or Liz will come in and invite you as a user. You'll get an email from Kira Talent saying you've been invited as a user, and you'll click this kind of blue button in the middle of the email called Get Started, and you'll be asked to create a password there. And once that's done, you're set up on Kira.
That means we will get an email whether we are interested to, enroll in Kira. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm going to email you right after this, and
okay.
I'll send you the survey, and it gives you all the choices. And then you can tell me if you're going to, and then I'll make a user account for you if you sign up. And then in the survey, you can also tell me if anybody on your faculty or what might be reviewing these need user accounts too. And I just create them. It's pretty simple.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. So the next part I'm going to show you, it still lives kind of under your little bubble of where your initials will be, or your picture of your name, is this section called support. So there's a couple of things you'll see here. So first of all, you can contact myself or anyone else on the client success team. So myself, Melanie, Connor, Christian, or Jamie, through this in-platform chat. And we usually reply, sometimes it's minutes, sometimes it's an hour if we're on a call. But if you need to reach us, for example, you can't remember how to do something, you can just come in here and say, hi, I forget, and then press the send button. And that message will come directly into us and we'll respond. So everything you'll see here today, we'll be able to help you as well if you kind of forget how to do anything like that. So once you click the support button, you'll see here, you'll give an option to send us a message. There's another 2 things here right now as well under the support. So one thing is called client resources. And if you click on client resources, it will bring you to a page that will show you everything I'm going to show you here today. So if you can't remember how to do something, there'll be little videos here. But as well, if you don't want to go in and look through that, you can just send us a message right here. So there's 2 ways you can get to that. You can get here through clicking on your little bubble with your initials, or you can click on this blue bubble, and this will always appear for you at every stage. The only thing to keep in mind when you click this is we cannot see what page on the platform you're on. So if you're writing to us saying, I can't see a certain thing on this page, just tell us what page it is on and we'll go in and look at it and see if we can reproduce the issue as well. The final thing is like a rewards program we have for advocates. So if you introduce Kira to a client who is a school who's like not using us already, we have like a rewards program for that. But that's kind of just lives under that part as well. So there's where you can get support. It will be in platform. We work hours on EST, which is 9 to 6. But then as soon as we come in the next morning, if you ever like message out of hours, we'll be replying then as well. Okay. So there's a couple of settings I'm going to show you on the actual assessment that you're going to, I suppose, that can be helpful for you. So we created this training assessment to show you the demo on what to do without going in and showing you another program's assessment. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm just going to go through this training assessment here. So you'll see here, there is 3 dots beside every single assessment. And when you click on those, there's 5 options, and that will be the same for everyone. So on this assessment, the first option you'll see is edit. What edit does is allows you to come in here and view the videos. So if you want to come in here and click on your video, you can just come in here, watch your videos, and then like if you want something changed, you can email me. Sometimes on the edit option, you'll see an option to edit here. But if you've already launched your assessment and applicants have completed it, we disable your editing options, and you'd have to email us to change anything, because we don't really recommend you change anything after like some of your applicants have completed it, because it just takes away the fairness out of doing the assessment. So that's all you're ever going to really use the edit for. Anything you really need changed in the assessment, you'd be probably emailing Liz and myself, and we can sort that out for you too. The second option you can see is preview. And under preview, you'll be able to just see what the landing page looks like and what this will look like for your applicants coming in here. So you'll see this is what the logo is, this is what the background image is, this is what the assessment is called. This will tell them when they're an applicant, they will tell them they have to check in here. They'll only get the option when they've been invited. So the preview option doesn't give you the option to go in and anyone just do it. The applicant has to be invited to be able to do your assessment. The third option you see here is close. And this is what I spoke about originally first, when you can have open and close assessment. So say, for example, if you want to launch with Kira and we get something up and running for September and you want to close it within a month because you want to start getting offers out, if you have your date that you're planning to close the assessment and you've notified all your applicants of this, on that date, what you're going to do is log into Kira, come in and click close. You'll be asked, are you sure you want to close this assessment? And you click close assessment. And now you'll see this assessment disappears from here, but it moves right to here. So it moves into your closed assessment file. And what this means is your applicants can no longer complete this if they've not already done so before the date. But if you have closed it and then one applicant emails and you're feeling generous and you want to open it for a day for them, all you need to come in here is click the 3 options and you'll see an option called reopen. And again, you'll be asked, are you sure you want to reopen? And once it's reopened, it's there as well. When you close the assessment, you'll still be able to review all the applicant videos, so nothing like that changes at any stage. All it will do is stop the applicants coming in and completing it at that stage. Perfect. The next option you see here is rename. So when we set up an assessment and, for example, you want to come in and change the name to something, we can go in here and put 2021 and you just click yes, rename the assessment, and it changes it here. So that's that one is, I'm just going to change it back for the sake of this. But it's very easy to rename your assessment. I will show you where the name of the assessment, where it's important for it, because on the applicant side where they see, but I'll show you that after when we're doing the applicant run through as well. And the final option you'll see is duplicate. So you're never really going to use this. This will be between myself and Liz probably using this, but if you use Kira this year and then next year you want to use it again, but you want the exact same assessment, what we will do is come in here and duplicate the assessment, rename it, maybe change a couple of things in the invite email if you have dates in it or anything like that. But that's where we kind of come in and open your new assessment. So you don't have to reopen the assessment from last year, and your applicants can live in the separate years as well. And then if we're doing that, I know Liz will probably speak a little bit towards the integration with Salesforce on that too, about if you're reopen them and what we kind of need to do from there as well. But again, that's all will be probably looked after for on our side. It's not something you're going to really need to think about too much. Before I jump into the assessment and show you how you would be reviewing applicants, is there any questions so far that I can answer for you? Okay.